You know where the river is?
I don't know. Do you want to show me?
If you keep walking this way, you'll find it.
If you meet somebody that has dementia, then you've met that one person that has dementia. You haven't met the other people that have dementia because it affects everybody completely differently.
Well done. It's not somebody suffering from dementia, it's somebody that's living with dementia.
But I do love it here.
It doesn't have to be a disease or an illness that debilitates somebody's life completely.
1, 2, 3.
Going out, having a trip out, is going to make a massive effect on someone's life with dementia. It elevates their well-being, it brightens up their day, it makes a difference because they're out of the building, they're engaging with others, they're in the fresh air, they're seeing a bit more of normal life, normal society.
You have to go with each moment. Each moment is an engagement, each moment is an opportunity to reach somebody and give them a moment of happiness, a moment of joy. You come in to visit Mum and you want to take her to the shops, you want to take her to a cafe, but actually all Mum wants to do is go for a walk in the garden, as opposed to taking a full day trip out with the whole family. It's very easy to be frustrated, it's very easy to become angry because it's ruined your plans for the day. But actually, that's what Mum wants. So you have to live with that moment and you have to go with that and realise that that is her moment of joy, her moment of meaning for the day.
It doesn't have to be a big trip. It could be just a walk to the end of the street, the end of the road, or just to a nearby shop or park.
What we find that we have a lot of success with is the spontaneous sort of trips out. It's when that person's in that moment, when they want to do something, that's when you need to capture it to make sure that they get full enjoyment from it.
Lovely. It's gorgeous.
Involving a loved one is really important. It's another stage of the process where they can be active and they can be independent. If you're taking over that process, you're taking away from the experience sometimes. So ask them, where they would like to go or how long or what they might want to do, so that it becomes their activity. They've got ownership of the activity. When you have ownership of activity, you feel a much greater sense of accomplishment.
Before we take any resident out, we always think the 3 Ps. Planning prevents panic, because you need to research where you're going to go. Go and have a look at the venue that you thought you might take someone, just in case it's too noisy or too crowded, because then they might, panic. It's really important if you're going to take someone out to find out what they used to like doing. So someone that perhaps had to walk and used to walk over the hills every weekend, try and get them somewhere where they can, even if they can't walk up the hill, you can perhaps go to a cafe that's near a hill or it's got a nice view, so they can take their binoculars with them to look at the wildlife. But it's all very important to know what they used to like to do, because it's individual to them.
It's really important that trips out and activities include some sort of reminiscence. We've got a gentleman here that used to be a really excellent sportsman. He can play football, he's in his 70s. He still likes to do that. He's still got his tricks on the ball. And I think, you'll see him come to life when he's got that ball in front of him.
The way we find my old dad is when we get into activities, where when he's playing sports or board games, loses himself in those games, you see a bit of my old dad. I think because he can cope with that. He can lose himself, concentrate on ball skills, and just literally lives for the moment, really, and he actually relaxes. And you do see my old dad.
If the person with dementia wants to go out and is really enthusiastic about going out, it should always be encouraged. The wind on someone's face, the rain on someone's face could be a stimulant to reminisce about the past, and also that the physical sensation of being outside and being in the outer world. It can be a very positive thing.
It's really beneficial for residents to have that feeling of wind or even rain on their faces, and if it's cold it might be snowing, so they know what season it is. And if it's nice and sunny, it could be spring. You've got the birds singing, the flowers, the smells of summer. It's really important for residents to have that sense of what time of year is it.
Every individual you've got to treat as a as a person who has likes and dislikes, so it's picking the right time, the right spot, and it's giving them a bit of time. It's just saying, yeah, do you fancy going for a walk later? Yeah, we'll go after lunch if you like. And then just maybe checking back a little bit before then and say, oh, we're still going to go out. And getting them ready, whether it's helping them put on their jacket, whether it's just having a drink first, and just trying to make it as kind of pleasant as possible and giving encouragement. Sometimes a benchmark. So right, we did, we walked for 5 minutes yesterday. Let's see if we can do a little bit more active. Or let's see if we can go and see those sites that we saw last time, and give them something to look forward to. So they're thinking about the goal that they're trying to achieve, rather than the difficulty that walking might give them.
If a relative is venturing out with someone with dementia, it might be difficult to get them back home, but it's important to recognise when that might be, and hopefully you'll get used to that person, their certain moods, and hopefully you'll figure out at a particular time, when you can bring them back. If the person is hesitant to come back because they think they live elsewhere, it might be a good idea to then try and ask where the person thinks they live, and try and find out what time frame that person is living in, what time frame they're experienced in. If that person is insistent on then going home and say, no, I don't live at Pryor's house, I want to go to this particular street, then it might be the relative's best option is to try and distract the person.
If the activity doesn't work, try it again on another day, another time, approach it in a different way, but keep going until you find the solution. Try and go at another time of day, maybe with another person in the family who the resident's more comfortable with, but certainly keep going. It doesn't mean that because it doesn't work once, it's not going to work the next day or the day after. It's really important to have patience and perseverance.
Well, I feel I've done something good.
Sharing moments and bonding together is going to be critically important for both parties, for the person experiencing the dementia and for their loved one.
Yes, it is true.
I think initially the support that people need when they're caring for a loved one with dementia is the realisation that life can go ahead as usual. Trips out can still happen. Certainly there'll be some hurdles which they've probably never had to even consider before, but that can be overcome. People can still go out and lead a full and active life and enjoy life.
You're helping somebody live with that illness to create happy moments and great days.